Ahoy, ladies and gents. Welcome to the show. Here I am. I'm back. It's the BBC Spews live. It's the 10th of June. Welcome. Apologies, I couldn't run yesterday. Duty calls. Turns out if I take 12 days off work, everything goes to shit. Sorry, can't be helped. I blame the fact that we're no longer living in a meritocracy, and after 2 years locked in our houses, you just can't get the help anymore, can you? And I can't turn my phone off, as some remarked, because, yeah, duty calls, right? If my boss needs me to help out, I gotta go. I'm one of those dutiful fellas. This is why I haven't had a sick day in about, in fact, no, I've never had one. Pretty certain I've never had one. Yeah, I haven't. Since I left the car, I've never had a sick day. I remember coming down with something when I was in York, like a bad flu. So I went to work that morning and I told my boss I felt like shite. So I said, "Can you put me some holiday in?" Because I don't use my holiday very often either. And he went, "Yeah, all right then." And he put me like a week's holiday in. I've never actually used a sick day. This is when I was working for the council, who, if you don't recall me telling you the story, because the public servants, and obviously nowadays public servants don't serve the public, they serve themselves. Blokes used to take off 6 months with full pay. And one of the lads, ginger sloth-looking mutant that he was, he used to do it every year. Every year he'd take off the full 6 months for depression. And then he'd wait until it was like, 5 months and 28 days, because then you go on half pay. And he'd come back to work. He'd do that for 4 or 5 months. And he'd take another 6 off. And we wonder why we're skint and nothing works properly anymore. I've talked about that before, right? Long-term viewers will have heard me tell that story. He used to always tell them it was because his wife had a miscarriage. Because obviously, you say something that's evocative and emotive because you know the manager won't question it. So every fucking 12 months, he'd go, "Oh yeah, my missus had a miscarriage. Yeah, I can't deal with the stress." And after I witnessed this 3 times. I was like, God doesn't want you to breed, son. God doesn't want you to breed. You've got a wonky fucking face. You're ginger, right? You're obviously going to be cursed with a ginger, wonky faced child. If your fucking missus has had 3 miscarriages in 3 years, that is the good Lord above using a natural abortion to tell you not to fucking breed, you absolute sloth-looking bastard. So yeah, there we go. Also, I've had my hair done, so Sergeant Major can stop whinging. All I have still got the sideys. That's my one. That's my one vanity since I became a civilian. I like to have long sideys because I was banned from them in the Corps. I had a particularly irate RSM who used to march around 4-2 commando with a fucking big permanent marker in his hand, and he'd go, just draw on your face if it was too long. He was very, very averse to. You were allowed quite long hair in the Corps. They weren't mega anal about it, but sideys, if they went past like halfway down your ear, just to piss them off. So I've got these sort of ear length ones just to have the last laugh, You can see your widow's peak now, Matt. Yeah, you can see that even when I've got long hair, can't you? I've always been cursed with that. Anyway, we didn't come here to talk about my fucking hair, so let's, or lack of it as I'm aging, let's talk about the news, because I didn't get a chance to do it yesterday. First things first. This isn't even news, but I'm going to show you it, because I like to just, whatever takes my fancy. I'm assuming most YouTubers of the centre left, centre right, again, because it's not just the centre and the right anymore, is it? Russell Brand is left wing. It's anyone who's normal. Centre left, centre right, everybody else is against the wokists, because they realise that we're living in a fucking authoritarian tyranny. The people currently running the United States, which in fact I'll put it up because basically I'm going to get off the BBC, because I know I ramble, but what I'm saying is I'm not going to overly cover the January 6th hearings for too long, because I'm assuming everybody is talking about it. Russell Brand's talking about it. Everybody who isn't a woke lunatic is talking about the fact that it's a sham trial. It's the type of thing you see that Solzhenitsyn wrote about, or that you see now with authoritarian regimes all around the world. It's a show trial. It's a sham. We know what the result's going to be before we start. So it's not a real trial. So I'm not going to devote this show to talking about it. Suffice it to say that look at the fucking head. This is the homepage for the BBC. It's all they're talking about. It's that. I mean, really, should the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stories on the BBC, on the world news page, should the top 5 stories be something happened on January 6th last year? Like, why is that still the fucking main story? It was ages ago. It's not of interest to anybody. We know. And then down here it says breaking. Breaking. Well, why have you got 5 fucking stories talking about this shit then? Nobody cares. So I'm not going to waste my time boring you and me by talking about this. So suffice it to say, it's a sham. And those of you that aren't cursed with the memory span of a drunk goldfish are aware that it's a sham. I made a video about this the day after it happened. And I put together all the footage of Trump in front of me on live television saying, it looks a bit dodgy, so we're going to go down there and we're going to peacefully protest. He actually used the words peacefully protest. They came out of his mouth on live television for all the world to hear. So this is a sham. The statistics prove that it was a sham. The numbers prove that it was a sham. The fact that nobody there was running around with an AK-47, it's not a fucking insurrection. They're saying he was trying to launch a coup d'etat. It's like a coup. You really think it was a coup? A coup attempt by a bloke repeatedly saying, protest peacefully, protest peacefully. We're going to go down there and we're going to protest peacefully. And nobody's armed. A coup. You need like broad support from the military and tens of thousands of people armed, willing to do what it takes to have a coup. It was a riot. It was a stupid riot. And the people who were fucking thick enough to be led astray by the instigators, which it does seem to be, from poking around in all the right places on the internet. Again, I can't talk about it too much because Susan will fold me over my desk and roger me with a prize-winning leak. But it does appear that some federal agents were there on camera. Again, I've seen this. The Daily Wire's covered it. Project Veritas has leaked some videos as well, who are known agents working for the state. It appears that the nakedly partisan what the Americans call the deep state, we avoid the term because it has connotations for conspiracy theorists, nakedly partisan government agencies helped rile them up so that they knew they'd kick off, have a bit of a riot, and then they could use that as a pretext to talk about this for 2 years. It's fucking boring. So all I'm saying is I'm not interested in clicking on any of these links. I'm going to avoid it, and we're going to do something more interesting, more entertaining. All right? And I hope you're cool with that. And if you aren't, well, sorry, lads, you can suck me fucking plums. I'm in charge. That's the way it goes. I'm in charge. So, and I think I know my audience. It's boring. Cleverer, more serious people than me will cover this at great length. You don't want to hear me talk about it. It's bollocks. It's a sham. It's a sham show trial, just like the ones that we criticize all of the third world countries of the world for doing. So we're going to do something more interesting, which is go and poke around on my Twitter, because I now do basically use Twitter for saving amusing stories that I'd like to talk about on my streams. You know, like I see them while I'm browsing and I think, oh, that'll be good to do on a stream. When the BBC is just putting out the same boring propaganda. So I've been putting some things on here, and I think all you guys should see it. One of them, fuck me. I'll tell you what, I had to Google it. I'm showing my age here. I had to Google it. I didn't actually know what it meant. Here we are. I'm showing my age. I had to Google these terms. And then, well, I wish I hadn't. Let me show you this. I saw it, so you have to. I just hope the audio works again, because it seems to depend on what website I'm on, whether or not you can hear the audio. Can you hear this?
What are you eating, Miss Pride? Well, if you're a top, it seems like you can eat whatever you want. But
could you hear that? Yeah, sounds all right. Honestly, though, first of all, why is that fruit wearing a gimp suit? A fucking gimp costume. Can I put this on full screen? There we go. Oh God. Honestly. So this, if you don't know, Postmates is not a small. It's not me purposely looking for like weird, cliche, strange things just to generate fake anger. I know that's what some sort of politically minded people do. I don't do it. I just like stuff that makes me laugh. Because as I've told you, if you get really, really bitter and vengeful about all this stuff, you're doing life wrong. I am going to make a video about the Scousers, by the way, because I've seen a video on Facebook about the Scousers whinging about Scouse not English. And they're just cringing and pathetic. Cringing and pathetic. Like, it's the natural evolution, what I keep talking about the whole point of those who know, people who know what they're talking about with politics. It is all linked to this postmodernist academia. It's neo-communism. It's encouraging the masses to be bitter and resentful and angry. Because if you make people bitter and resentful and angry, they do what you tell them. And whenever you meet someone who's having a good life, like bloke at the gym, my local gym, there's a black dude there. He sounds as fuck. He's always in a good mood. He's always wandering around mopping floors. Now, he's doing a menial job. He's like a janitor or something. He looks about 45, 50. He's always chirpy. And that there is a really good example of what's wrong with Liverpool and what's wrong with all of the left and what's wrong with individual umbrella people, the intersectionality umbrella. The bitter and resentful and spiteful. They are Scouse. Again, Scouse knows the crack. This Scouser at least is sensible. They are just commies. They are just commies. And this black dude is always in a good mood, despite the fact he's doing a sort of menial job. He's never like, you know, for a fact in his personal life, he's not sitting there going, "Oh, I got stitched up. Me, I'm black. I'm a black man. I've had it rough." He's just getting on with his life and going, "Well, I'm not going to be a victim." And it's the same with conservative-leaning gay people or followers of the religion of pieces or anybody else who's enjoying the life. They just get on with it. You don't sit there being resentful and going, "Oh, I've been stitched up. I've been stitched up." If you have that, this is why I keep telling you that conservatism is a movement of joy. It tells you that your life's in your own hands. Your destiny is of your own making. And you should just get on with it. Same with that fat bird who had to go Jordan Peterson when he was in Australia. "Oh, you tell us we have to do things, but we've got no control. We can't affect climate change. We can't affect..." Do some fucking work, fatty. Eat less, move more. As Blue Van Man said. Eat less, move more. That's a good one. I like it. You should be a personal trainer. Although I don't know how going to McDonald's in your blue van and eating burgers and ice cream could fit with that. But he'd probably be a good personal trainer. Just have to juggle the two, Dave. The point I'm getting at is the mentality that we have is that your life's in you, despite the fact that there's a lot of things outside of your control. You as an individual can be focused and fit and hardworking. And if you fucking do everything right, you'd be surprised how much you can achieve. And the fucking behavior of the commie is to convince you that you've never had it so rough. Everyone's against you. The world's against us. Fucking Scousers. It's pathetic. I'm from Middlesbrough. We go on holiday to Liverpool. You posh southern wankers. They are southern fairies, Scousers. So I'm going to make a video about them. They've pissed me off today. But back to what I'm going to talk about is this. So as I've said, I had to go on Google to learn what this shit meant. But Postmates, if you don't know, is not a small thing. It's not me looking for niche things to make you angry. It's a food delivery service. It was acquired by Uber. Its revenue is in excess of $1 billion. It's a major, major, major thing. It's not me just looking for stuff to piss you off, right? Let's watch this together. I'm prepared to be fucking astounded. This is the state of modern, mainstream, billion-dollar company, mainstream advertising in 2022. Let's just fucking check this out.
What are you eating this pride?
Ass. We know what they're eating this pride.
Well, if you're a top, it seems like you can eat whatever you want. But if you're a bottom, you're expected to starve? Not this pride. Introducing the bottom-friendly menu from Postmates.
Right, so, this is why I had to go on Google, right? I told my missus this fucking blew my mind. So, I'm sitting here watching a mainstream a mainstream publication, you know, billions and billions in revenue. Everyone sees it. This advert will go out everywhere. Talking about a top and a bottom. And I didn't know what it meant. When it said, here, it says, well, if you're a top, it seems like you can eat whatever you want. And there's a vegetable in a gimp suit, right? And I didn't understand it. So I'm sharing this for you. I'm assuming everybody else over the age of 40 doesn't fucking understand this lingo, right? So I was assuming when it said it seems like you can eat whatever you want, I was thinking, are they talking about like men? As in a top would be men because we go on top of women, you know, in the missionary position. And men have got a lot more muscle and burn a lot more calories, so we can eat more. And women can't. In my naivety, this is what I thought. I was like, this is fucking weird. So I go on Google. Yes. Kirky knows what's coming. I went on Google. I was like, basically, they're talking about a bottom is the bloke who's getting fucking rogered. Right? And I couldn't fucking believe that they've developed a diet for it, which, I mean, this is what made me go, I never even thought of that. I never thought that when you're taking it up the back passage, if someone's going to massage your passage, I didn't ever think you need to worry about your diet. And again, I know I'm sounding naive here, but I'm a bootneck, and I was popular with the ladies as a young man. I'm not saying that I've never done that to not be coarse. I will say I've never really understood the appeal with women, obviously myself. Never really understood it. I've always thought if there's a perfectly good front bit, what's the point in messing around with that? It's happened, and I've been requested to do it, and I've done it, but I've always thought it was a bit weird, and I've never really been into it. But I never thought for a minute that, now it's got me thinking, did the birds have like a special diet? If they're into it, I'd have said, oh, I'm going, oh, fucking hell, I'll have to eat nothing but cucumber all week. Like, it's fucking weird. It's weird. But basically, what this company's talking about is you have to have a proper diet if you love getting bummed senseless. which was a fucking revelation. Let's just watch the advert and then I'm going to rant about it.
Seems like you can eat whatever you want. But if you're a bottom, you're expected to starve? Not this pride. Introducing the bottom-friendly menu from Postmates. We teamed up with Dr. Evan Goldstein from Bespoke Surgical to bring you a menu of bottom-friendly foods backed by science. Insoluble fiber won't help you feel cute, so avoid things like whole grain.
Insoluble fiber won't help you feel cute. Are you talking about shitting all over someone? It's like, I mean, I'm assuming this is what we're talking about now. Like, this is the type of shit they'll put on TV at 11 o'clock in the morning nowadays, right? Is that really what we want people to be discussing?
Wheat bran, cauliflower, potatoes, legumes. Hold up. Are you just fully diving into those beans? The problem with these foods is they don't dissolve in water, which could cause a traffic jam in your digestive system.
Look where we are. This is the state of modern advertising. What they should basically do is just put out higher billboards by the side of the roads and put, if you don't fully encourage bumming, you're homophobic. Like, it's fucking disgusting. And I'm not saying it as in homosexuals having sex. I'm saying the very fact, even if we were talking about men and women, this is what normal, reasonable, centrist, conservative people keep saying. I'm not having a pop at gay people. And I don't think anybody should have a pop at gay people because, like I've said, I do believe firmly that the old Baptist preachers who used to say it's all a lifestyle choice are wrong. Because I know it's not a lifestyle choice for me to like tits. I was forced into it. It wasn't like I could have went either way. So I've always, as a straight man, thought that was stupid. It isn't a choice, is it? You're about 13 or 14 and all of a sudden you like tits. That's it. There's no choice in the matter. I wasn't in PE with the lads, and I just thought, you know what, I'll flip a coin and I'll decide whose ass I'm going to look at. No, it was the girls. They made me. Suddenly the girls skipped past and the boys jogged past on the way to rugby, and I'm not there thinking, ooh, hairy arsehole. It's not my cup of tea. I was pushed into liking the hairless, slightly more curvy ones. And that's the way of it. So I'm not having a pop at gay people. But what I'm saying to you is, the issue with this, to me, as a conservative man, is the total destruction of propriety and privacy and self-respect. Like, I don't think straight people should be talking about this type of stuff in public. It's just really fucked up. We've gone from the sort of cheeky days of like, what, Page 3 in the Carry On films, to just telling people, hey, you know what, if you eat that, you're going to shit all over someone's balls. I don't want to fucking hear it. And that could be, couldn't it? I'm not having a pop at any group here, because that can be between straight men and women, or lesbians, or gay people, or anyone. There's no need to have adverts saying, hey, if you eat that, imagine, I mean, they're going to do it to me. Let's say I'm with my missus and I go into McDonald's. A man can have anal sex with a woman. I'm going to walk into McDonald's during Pride Month and be like, oh, yeah, I'll have that ice cream, mate. And he goes, oh, hey, you don't want to eat that, fella. Why not? I like ice cream. You'll shit all over someone's balls. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. It's not your job to tell me about shitting on anyone. Just give me the fucking ice cream. It's really fucking weird and dirty and disgusting. So I hope, after explaining myself, that has done enough for children and the psychopaths that run the world to know that I'm not having a pop at anybody. I don't believe in having a pop at anybody for the sexual preferences. In fact, I don't even like the word preference, because to me, like I said, I'm with the lefties on this. I don't think it's a preference. I don't prefer tits to cock. I'm forced into tits. So sexual preferences, don't even like the word. Sexual orientation. I don't believe in having a pop at people for the sexual orientation. But this shit is fucking disgusting. And I'm just coming at this from the angle of it could be talking about a straight man and his straight girlfriend. It's fucking disgusting. Anyway, we'll finish it out of morbid curiosity.
Making a mess of your evening. Speaking of messy, it's a good idea to avoid dairy.
I cannot handle lactose right now. Look at her.
And also, it's not funny. There's that as well. At least they should get me to write them an advert. I could do them a comical advert aimed at promoting inclusion for the gay community without making it fucking disgusting and not funny. So give me a call, whoever, Postmates. You can afford it. What do I charge? I'll do it for a tenner. You can't say fair enough. I'll do YouTube for fuck all. I'll do this. I'll do an advert for a tenner. Take me an hour to write it. Easy. No one will get shit on.
If you're going to eat something insoluble, give your body about 24 hours to process all of it.
24 hours as well? Can you believe? Do they really put this much effort into bumming? I don't think so. Definitely not. I don't think young ladies requested of me as a young man. I don't think they went 24 hours without eating. Is it different? Is it because they get so much fucking action? The ring piece is just like the top end of a Wellington boot. And it's like, gravity. You don't have to strain when you go for a shite. It just fucking falls out. As soon as you sit. Like you've dropped a picture. As soon as you sit down. They've just emptied the fucking Hoover down. It's fucking...
Soluble fibers and protein are the key to having some good, clean fun. These all digest easily and slowly while feeding your good gut bacteria, which makes sushi a great bottom-friendly option. There's no right or wrong way to bottom, but if you're planning on getting...
There's no right or wrong way to bottom. Well, there is, isn't there? I'm assuming the one that involves you shitting all over somebody, that's definitely a wrong way. And again, if you're claiming there's no right or wrong way, then you're suggesting that it's totally fine to shit all over people. I mean, is everyone a fucking sexual deviant in this day and age? Is that where we're at? There's no standards at all. I still can't believe that the fucking dudes wearing the anthropomorphic vegetables wearing a full-on gimp suit as well. Like, again, even that you could describe. You know how we talk about the racism of low expectations. That's sort of like crassly stereotyping the gay community, isn't it? Almost like, oh yeah, every gay couple, basically the blokes dress as gimps. Yeah, they do. It's all leather and gimp suits and candle wax on the nipples and fucking chains and whips. No, I know a few gay people. Most of them just wear jeans and a t-shirt and don't really talk about cock all the time. In fact, I talk about cock more often than they do because I'm a bit weird like that and just trying to have a crack. Most gay men aren't, which again explains why Trump did as well as he did, right? Because most people reject the umbrella of identity politics. Gay men aren't just some fucking stereotype. Every single one of them wears a gimp suit, goes, ooh, hello, talks like with an extremely high-pitched voice, and just, they're only interested in baking meringues and voting for the Democrats. Like, how fucking condescending are they? So also don't understand the need for the gimp costume.
Peachy this pride. The bottom-friendly menu on Postmates has the kinds of foods that can keep you feeling good.
Are you organic?
Mm-hmm.
How fucked up's that? And then it says a donation was made to the Opera Project, a black woman led. Again, like this is progress. Obsessing over what people happen to be. Oh, it's black woman led. I don't fucking care. Because normal people that aren't psychopaths don't care about things like that. They care about what you think and what you say, not what your bastard look like. I'm surprised it didn't say a black woman-led collective that also loves scissoring. Put that in there, get some more points. Black woman-led scissoring Muslim. Put that in there, get some more. But what else can we have? Autistic, clubfoot, what else? On the spectrum. Just put everything in there. Everything. For as many fucking points as possible in this insane, crazy world where totting up the amount of ticks in the boxes on the woke spreadsheet determines how much of a worthy person you are and whether you deserve equal treatment under the fucking law. Like, yeah, so how good's that? Health and financial barriers faced by the trans community. Financial barriers. Again, so this is where we are. Bootneck's got no issues with the T's. I've got no issues with the trans community as long as they're old enough to make these decisions for themselves. But I don't want to pay for it. What do you mean financial barriers? So the financial barrier is because you want to get cock off on NHS. Everyone else has got to pay for it. It's the same with the student loans thing. Why the fuck are window cleaners and plumbers paying for middle-class arseholes college degrees? Why? You're a middle-class arsehole with middle-class arsehole parents and you want to go and study fucking ancient Greek lesbian pottery for 35 grand a year in out-of-state university. Why have all the bartenders and the bricklayers and the bus drivers got to pay for it? Why? Financial barriers faced by the trans community. It ain't that expensive to get cock lopped off. Worry about your own fucking bits and I'll worry about mine. Thanks. Jesus fucking Christ. So there we go. That is Postmates. Look at it. Look at the retweets on that. 500,304 tweets. 757 retweets, all them likes. It's how bad's that? Bottom friendly options. Yeah, I don't want to know. And I wouldn't want to know if you were talking about men and women. This has been my issue with pride all along. I don't have an issue with gay pride. Yeah, nobody should feel marginalized or upset because of what the sexuality is. But I don't want to see straight people doing it. I don't want to see men and women fucking in public. I don't want to see men and women walking down the street with a placard with readers' wives blown up and spread-eagled. Some fat bird showing your piss flaps on a big blew-up placard in the middle of the high street. I don't want to see it. It really does alarm me, all this stuff. Like, the world's just gone fucking mad. And, there's a lot of people, cleverer people than me, historians, who've talked about how whenever an empire falls, everybody turns into a sex pest. That's a proven fact as well, isn't it? Everyone turns into a fucking deviant, and it seems like we are at that. We're at this point now. I also shared this story about this kid, which I'll talk about briefly, because that leads into what I'm saying about how the United States, again, I know I'm going to upset Sadwings, but let me just briefly address the American situation, right? So, actually sitting and doing the reading about Peter Navarro and Eric Holder, genuinely astounded me. The short version, for those of you that don't pay attention to American politics too much, is that they both worked for presidents. Navarro for Trump, Holder for Obama. They're protected by executive privilege, which means it's sort of like our parliamentary privilege, again, because we basically have the same system, where you can't be fucked for things that you said when you're at work, when you're a public servant. Holder was involved in an extremely scandalous affair whereby the United States sent firearms to Mexico. And then one of those exact firearms was used to kill a border patrol agent. And Eric Holder was embroiled in this scandal, but was protected by executive privilege, so he didn't have to talk about it. And they subpoenaed him, and he was like, fuck you, I don't care. And nothing happened to him. Because Eric Holder is a Democrat and worked for a Democrat president. And this type of thing has been going on in the United States for many, many, many years. When I first moved out here, they were going on about how they weaponized the IRS. The Democrats were found to have decided, which is what I keep talking about, how the deep state is like, it's a thing. It's highly politicized in the United States because it's a fractured country that's not too far out of a civil war. So they do hate each other. The red and the blue states, they hate each other. It's not like in England. It's ramped up by a factor of 5. They hate each other. And the Democrats, because they've been in the power for that whole Obama era, basically used that 8 years to march through the institutions and turn every state-funded agency into essentially a partisan agency. So the FBI and the CIA and the intelligence agencies and branches of government, all the civil servants who you can't vote out, are basically hardcore Democrat activists. And as a result of that, the United States is now basically a fucking banana republic. And I'm slagging off the Americans, and I'm also going to get to why America's still better than Britain. So hopefully this will cheer Sadwins up and he won't stomp off in a huff back into his fucking concrete bunker 20 feet under his house, filled with generators and ammunition and MREs. And what I'm saying is, Americans shouldn't lecture the Europeans about freedom, because at this point, the United States is basically like a full-blown banana republic. Whether or not you get justice under the law, equal treatment by Lady Justice, depends purely upon your political opinions. And dare I suggest, that is banana republic. It's like these partisan sham trials, show trials. It's third world country shit going on in the United States right now. And that's a fact. But why is Britain still better? I mean, why is America still better? Because America still has a conservative option. There is a massive conservative movement in the United States. In the UK, you've got the Conservatives, who are about as conservative as fucking Keir Starmer's left testicle, which is not very conservative at all. Keir Starmer's left testicle, after he's just pulled out of a rent boy's sphincter. There's nothing conservative about the UK Conservatives. They aren't conservative. So the United States still has light at the end of the tunnel. It's that eventually we'll get some actual conservatives in office here, and then they can set about dismantling all of when they control the presidency and the House and the Senate, they can then dismantle all of this and just fire all of these insane partisan fucking fruitcakes. The UK is totally fucked. So this is me laughing at the US when we laugh at Europeans and talk about freedom, because we're not free in the United States. But also hopefully looking forward to the future. A hope that I don't share for the United Kingdom, because as I've said, the United Kingdom is hamstrung by the Conservative Party. The Conservative Party needs to die. It's not conservative. Again, Peter Hitchens, clever bastard that he is, he was saying that 10 years ago. I disagreed with him. I supported the Conservatives. I voted for Cameron and I voted for Johnson. He was right. I should have listened to him. Should have listened to my elders. Conservative Party needs to die. And not enough people are going to vote for an alternative at the next general election, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm sorry to tell you, Blue Van Man, you're going to have to afford it. You're going to have to afford it. Not enough people are awake, and let's not say woke, it's got negative connotations, awake. Not enough people are sensible enough to vote for a new option. the SDP or Forward or any of these new parties in the United States or United Kingdom. So you're going to get Labour in. You're going to get about a third of the. I've been saying this for over a year. You all know my opinions. You're going to get about a third of the Conservative voters are going to abandon the Conservative Party, vote for these new options, Reform UK or someone like that. It's not going to be enough. So Labour and the commies are going to win. And you're going to have 4 years of full-on degeneracy. It's going to make the fucking top and bottom advert look like a walk in the park. You're going to have the caretaker wanking at the entrance to the fucking primary school. He'll be in the gimp suit, like on Pulp Fiction, chained up at the front with like a collar around his neck at the front of the primary school, wanking himself, lowering himself onto a vase whilst masturbating, and you're taking the kids to fucking school. That's where the UK is going to end up. And it's only when that happens, after 4 years of that, are you going to get a new party, either a totally decimated new Conservative party that's actually conservative, or you're going to get a brand new party that's actually conservative. So long term, the UK is fucked. Short term, the United States is fucked. I think that makes the UK in a worse position. And you're going to have to deal with 4 or 5 years of masturbating gimps before you get sanity. So, sorry, lads, that's just the way it is. At least I'll be here to walk you through it and we can all have a laugh. All right, Dave, you meant the actual light. Okay, yeah, the Tories do need to die, definitely. Anyway, I have to go because that's all we missed. I'll be done for 22. So I'm going to bugger off. All I will leave you with is this story I was going to cover. Please click this and have a read of it. It's a story demonstrating very succinctly what I was saying about there not being equality under the law. This young lad was executed in the street by a black man. Blew his fucking head clean off. BLM activist. Young lad, he seemed really nice, loving family, seemed chirpy, a good crack. Just a normal young kid. There he is. And he got executed. And the man that did it, because he's a BLM activist and he happens to be black, he was given voluntary manslaughter. Voluntary manslaughter. So this is where we are. Please read that link. Lunacy. We're not equal under the law, ladies and gents. Short term, we're in the shit. Long term, you were in serious shit across the pond. And we just have to keep chuckling and hope it gets better eventually before we're all fucking curling our toes up. All right. Thanks for watching, ladies and gents. I will be back tomorrow. Always a pleasure. See you very soon. Cheers.